Yeah. All right. Welcome. Good evening again, once again, to the Inside Out Show. I am not your host, Leonard McDonald. However, he is in the building!
Thank you. It's good to be back. I haven't been in this room for a while. It's been a long time, but I miss it. I miss you guys. But in the meantime, you all held it down. Much props to all of you. A lot of appreciation, a lot of love. Guys went at it like I was here with you, 110%. It's going overboard. Erica especially. I seen her one night on video because I had the opportunity to view that show, and she was going through some things, but she stood in there strong like a super soldier with the serum and all, like Captain America, and and then she just held it down and held her own and was like, I know he talk about me, but I'm still gonna do this because I love him.
True indeed.
And so I definitely want to let everybody know what transpired in here while I was in the hospital and then out of the hospital going through recovery. Thank you all for your prayers and keeping me in your thoughts. But we're going to kick this show off like we always do with some introductions, so ladies first.
Hey, it is Curly from Miami.
How you doing, everybody? This is Erica.
And this is Jermaine, the man with the plan, the man with the name. It's the king of the game. Good evening, people. It's the controversy email, podcast the bizzle. Go.
Okie doke, and this is where I jump. Oh, I'm sorry. Look, okay, Eric Brown, aka Professor Biz, aka What Is the Business. Right now, I'm about to go around the back, fake, bounce pass to Leonard McDonald.
And you know I'm shacking it all day, bringing down the glass. Leonard McDonald back again in the building, in the studio. Just it's good to be back. Tonight's topic from Boys to Men. We're going to go over why a lot of men out there just don't want to get a job. I mean, there's no simple way to put it or any way to sugarcoat it. I just think it's something that we need to put a stop to as men who know men like that. And also just within yourself, you need to pull out that passion to do more with your life and start striving and getting past all the, I'm going to call them superstitions that are out there about us. So my first question is going to go to Miss Curly Perard. What are the reasons some men don't want to work?
Okay, there are two reasons, I believe. The first reason would be because women allow them not to work. Men are going to do what you let them do. So if you're sitting up there being the breadwinner and you're okay with him sitting on your couch playing Xbox or PS3 all day, then that's what he's gonna do. And don't expect anything different. And then the second reason, what I would say is, we have a lot of single parent homes and women are doing all the work of raising these boys by themselves. And you can't teach a boy how to be a man. It has to be daddy to do that. So when you don't have daddy in the house to show and be an example to these young men of being a provider in the house and everything, then you're gonna have lazy boys. They don't have an example.
All right, cool beans. I'm gonna say that one, I agree with Curly on her first point, and I just want to say that this is for men, not the men that are out there looking for work, not the men that are out there, filling out resumes day after day after day, going on multiple job interviews, and nothing has just come to fruition just yet. I'm talking about the ones that aren't doing anything. They're not seeking out any type of employment. These are the ones that I'm talking about. And I do think one of the main reasons is that some women allow them not to work. They make an environment conducive for them to just sit there and not work. They are content being kept, being kept men, because women sometimes will feel the need, well, a piece of man is better than no man at all. So I'll just keep the one that I got. He may not work, but he'll do blase skip, whatever it is that this particular woman is interested in. Another reason I think that men don't work is that they're lacking a particular drive. And I find that very hard to understand because the very essence of men in most cases are to, one, compete. They have a desire. They have this thing on the inside of them that strives them to want to accomplish things. So when you have the ones that are just content twiddling their thumbs day after day, it's such a such a contrast to what a real man is. And then we do need to clarify that these particular people are not really men, that they are males.
Wow.
I'm done.
Well, I guess I'm the third leg of the relay race.
Tell them why you mad, son.
Tell them why you mad, son. You wanna know why I'm mad? You wanna know why I'm mad? Because this just sounds like a woman topic. You know what I'm saying? This sounds like women out there is mad. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know why I ain't got no job. But really, I mean, I do definitely agree with the ladies. It's a 4-compartment issue, but the two main ones is definitely one where the man is lacking a drive, that hunter instinct and intuition that comes with being a man, that says, I got to get up, I got to go out, I got to go get my meal. Meal can be, something edible, something financial, or just something that you can say that's your own. That says God blesses a man that has his own. And a lot of men are just either one, lacking the drive, and then there's just some who need a motivation to get the wheel going to, kind of generate the drive to, get up. And then the other one is just, like the lady stated, that there are women who, and I want to use this word because I like big words and new words, they are demasculating the man. So he, is just in a comfort zone, one, that, this woman is going to provide for me, and two, just by the interaction that he has with the woman, to where she's always pacifying him and just kind of demasculating him, keeping him from exerting that natural manhood that should be inside of him. However, there are some men who have just gotten so comfortable with just, mommy picking this up, mommy giving me that. I am looking for a job, but, my mother's going to give me some money, or my girl's going to give me some money. And that comes to something I was watching earlier this week. It was on MTV. Called True Life, and it was just episodes of young ladies dating guys who are with their exes. And from a man's perspective, an unmature man, he's kind of living a good life. And one guy, he lives with his ex, but he has another girlfriend, and he just couldn't understand why she was upset. Now, looking at the big picture, I'm like, dude, he has it easy. The ex-girlfriend drops him to the girl's house, picks him up. He pretty much is not paying much of the rent, and he's living a good life. Now, on the other hand, there was another guy, and this was really hurting me. This guy was 34 years old. His girlfriend was 19 with a child. He was not working, and he was just doing all these things to, spy on her, even put an app on her phone. But not to get off topic, where I saw the demasculation or him just being in a comfort zone, was like, dude, you're 34, you got a child. This girl is working, doing everything, and all you're doing is making it worse. You know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, come on, yo, don't you want to go work? And then they went to a therapy. He's crying. I'm like, dude, come on, B. I was really hurt by watching that.
You should be.
It was serious. It was serious. So this topic right here, man, we gonna print up copies. We gonna get him out to the Salvation Army. We gonna go to Camilla's house. We gonna help some of you dudes out. You dig? Go ahead, Biz.
What the flip? Yo, oh my gosh.
Man. The other dude had it good though, man. I mean, son. Go to other chick house for breakfast.
Okay.
And
now,
she had a Range Rover.
Man. Right. I'm about so upset right now. Right. Cause you know what? The first thing that comes to me is daggone Tommy from Martin. I got a job. I'm like, ain't nobody ever dropped you off at work and seen you at work. But no, seriously, the one thing that really came into my mind, what the two ladies were talking about is, like the girlfriend's taking care of her and whatnot. But what you said was exactly what came to mind, because, between you and Leonard, y'all are early 30s. Me, I'm late 20s. But what I see a lot, even in our generation, as is that a lot of people will go to college. They may have a little bit of trouble finding a job when they get out of college, so they'll move back in with their parents. They'll maybe take a part-time gig until they can get their career started and they'll get rolling. Right. However, there's a lot of other people who will just go back and take full advantage of their parents. Now, seeing as mostly we are in a single parent society, a lot of single parents. So dudes will go back and live with their mom, and the mom have her in like a nurturing standpoint, but just be like, okay, it's my son. I know, she wants to take care of the son and make sure that he's good, so on and so forth. Even though at a lot of times she will nag him to go get a job, or nag him like, isn't there something you want to do? I know you used to like this, or you want to do this. Well, why aren't you doing this? And he might be, man. Leave me alone.
And then a shouting match ensues.
Yeah, and then he'll just leave because ain't no man trying to be nagged at home where he live. So he'll just leave, go somewhere else, and when everything's cool off, they'll come back and then he'll just keep going. But the mothers, I'll tell you right now, man, kick your son out the house. Take that with a grain of salt. But in all seriousness, because you're not helping him. I know you want to take care of him and whatnot, but look, a grown man is a grown man, and this is the point I really want to get to, is that how God created men and how he wired men was that men are supposed to lead, at all costs. That just is the DNA makeup. And the one thing that I don't see is that a lot of men nowadays don't even know that they're supposed to lead. They don't even know that they are true leaders, that the rest of society really is on their back. And a lot of them are leaving it just to the cause of a woman, they're gonna do it anyways. It's like, nah, bro, you rise up and you take your rightful place. Like Simba, rise up and take your rightful place as king. That's who you are, you know? Right. And then it's like you have but so many few ones who know their position as a leader. For example, our pastor, he stand up there, he'd be like, hey, man, you do man things. He's like, they say you a little bit feminine, and he's like, no, I'm all man over here.
Yeah, he's real hard on us.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I feel that. I'd be hurting on Sunday. Yeah, you can have that one too. Don't even forward it to me. But yeah, like in terms of that, if you were to walk up to the 5 dudes sitting at the corner store smoking Black and Milds and drinking 40s all day, and you were like, hey man, do you know that you leading people exactly where you step? And however many of their baby mamas or however many kids they got, they would not know what you're talking about. They'd be like, look, I'm just over here with my boys doing X, Y, and Z, and all that stuff you talking about really don't matter, nor does it register. So when you come in speaking the truth to a society that's been completely turned upside down, it sounds like foolishness. Yes, but it is the truth. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be the ones out here, and really, I think this is the one time I can't agree with about to be getting shot by the ladies. Lord have mercy.
I know, I can see it in their faces.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that feminist movement ain't help at all, man.
We're not gonna let them talk.
See, that's why you on that side of the booth. I'm over here. I'm protected by the host. I throw him in the way. But in all seriousness, you know what I'm saying? That movement really didn't help at all. Yes, women are highly valued. Look at how God look at them. But at the same time, a woman just does not have the same role as a man does. They're not supposed to be provider and protector. That's the role of a man.
Thank you.
Men plain and simple need to stand up and do it. We waiting on nobody else to do it, man. You know what I'm saying? Do a real grande, walk in your role. But that's the thing. First, you're gonna be destroyed if you don't even have knowledge of what your role is, and that's really step one. All right, I'm done.
I know Erica wants to say something, but I just want to say this real quick because when you talked about Simba, that made me think, the circle of life doesn't change. The circle of life is the same, it's constant. And if anything within that changes, it becomes a circle of death. So that's really something to think about, because if you look at society right now and the lack of males stepping up to be men, you just see a sharp decline that just trickles down from the quote unquote men out there all the way to the children. But go ahead, Erica.
The only thing I was really going to say was when Biz was talking and he said, a lot of the stuff has been put on the women. The men haven't been stepping up in their role. And it's just because we are, as women, we're designed to be adaptable and pliable, meaning that we can adjust to certain situations. So if the men aren't going to stand up, we're adaptable. No. It's just that we are created to be adaptable and pliable. So in the situation, we should be able to adjust to it and make things work. So just because we are adaptable and can, if we're put in the position where we need to do certain things, doesn't mean we were designed to. It's just like, dude, you can drive a car with you drive your car with your hands. I can drive a car with my feet. It doesn't mean I'm supposed to. It's just not how it's done. Just because you can get to where you're supposed to go driving with your feet. That's not the design of the car. To drive with your feet. You're supposed to drive with your hands. So the men are supposed to lead.
You mean with your knee?
That doesn't.
No, I meant my feet. Like if you could drive with your feet, you know how people be leaning back and stuff like that. But I'm just saying.
Must be a Philly thing.
Yep. We don't know about that down here.
That's pretty cool.
You're missing the point.
No, we got the point.
It's just a part of the thing, So just because we've been able to do the things that we've done, we've been able to hold down a household if we're the only ones working. We've been able to handle the finances and to care for whatever man is in the house, son, boyfriend, husband, whatever. It doesn't mean that we were supposed to. That's not our role.
I'm going to just correct you on a couple things real quick.
Of course you will.
Because we can adapt. Just because y'all are better at adapting doesn't mean that we can't do it. Just like...
You just resist the adapting.
Don't put...
we need y'all. We got 3 in this room. Oh, y'all such good men. And y'all got jobs. You ain't here doing radio shows.
But
okay, you know what? I'll agree with you on that,
nothing.
Leonard. It's not that you can't. It's just that we are better designed at it. We are... It's easy for us to do it because that's how we're designed to do it.
Right,
I agree with that.
And I'm going to correct Biz right quick.
That would explain how they're able to date an unattractive man and fall in love.
Oh my gosh!
Let it correct.
That's another topic.
Correct. Just correct me real quick.
Let me correct Biz right quick. With the whole feminist movement, it wasn't that nothing came from it, because something did come from it. Because at the time, men were treating them like their value was less than it was. So they were able to, turn some heads and bring attention to the fact that they are more valuable than the way that they were perceived beforehand. They just went overboard.
I said it though because I said it's not like they don't have any value, because they do. But there's a difference between having value and taking over.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's a difference between wanting to be recognized and then kicking the king off the throne. Like, man, bump your throne. Give me this. And that. Don't be shaking your fist in here. Somebody get Erica, man, please.
I think Curly wants to speak.
Oh Lord.
No, not that.
You don't?
Well,
Not right now.
let me hear this real quick.
Go ahead, man.
I got 2 things I want to talk about. The first one probably not going to get me many fans. But I'm gonna talk about welfare. A lot of men don't want to work because they depend on welfare. Plain and simple.
You mean the women's welfare?
Both. Men
Because they
get
want to
it
live
too.
up. They want to live up in the Section 8 house with the woman.
Some men will get a job just to get fired and collect unemployment. Wow. That's the whole point. So, people.
Can we stop calling these people men? Can we call them what they are? These males will get jobs.
These males.
Thank
Yes,
you.
please.
These men.
Better definition.
So I think for both of the things I want to bring up is the question is, what is a job exactly? Because you have some males out there who are pimps. You think they work? That's a job. They're providing. So can you now say, oh, that's a man because he's working? He's a pimp. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta get them to understand first and foremost what is a job. A drug dealer. I know people across the board. I'm friends with people across the board. But I talk to them when I get a chance. But the point I'm trying to make is a man comes with many responsibilities. And if you're a drug dealer, yeah, you're bringing home money. But what about the risk that you're now placing on yourself? Well, now if you're out of that child's life, how is that child going to grow up? How is that family going to grow up? These are things to think about. Just in terms of what is a job. Don't depend on welfare. Well, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. If you're in need, it's there to help you. It's not there for you to try and circumvent the system and now depend on it. because then you're demasculating yourself and you could be doing so much more. So that's from that aspect. Also from another aspect, wow, yeah, y'all ladies just tapped me dry. I just lost my whole train of thought. I see all the head rolls, neck rolls, eye rolls.
No, I'm not rolling anything. I'm just listening.
I actually agree with you on that one.
Oh, thank you.
listening.
I appreciate that.
On that one.
Wow.
And you were saying, now that he has this job as pimp and drug dealer, now is he going from male to man? No, because a job isn't the only thing that makes you a man. Mm-hmm. There's other aspects into becoming a man. And as these three gentlemen here are definitely men, in my opinion, I would say that you can define for the people, the other things that qualify you as a man. Just because you're employed doesn't make you a man. There's other components with it, but a job is one of them.
I'm just saying, because y'all was putting the emphasis, let's not call these guys men. Let's call them what they are, males.
Because you're talking about ones that don't have a desire or an inclination of any kind to seek employment. And the job of a man is to lead, protect,
and provide.
And you can't provide with no source of income. Well, let me rephrase that, because some people will use that the unemployment is a source of income. But you know what I mean? Like consistently providing for a family in a manner of which a man is supposed to. A job is integral. Whether you're working for yourself, whether you're working for someone else, whether you're doing whatever you're doing in a legal capacity.
Mm-hmm. And to kind of just touch on what Erica was stating about, let's call them what they are, it just kind of clicked. Just a part of it. For some men, and I recall, even with growing up myself, single parent home, and I had other male figures around me, and their thing, or, then I had a stepdad in the home, and he would always say, kind of showcase his manhood in terms of him going out, working, bringing home, the money and food. And that would be, the identity of what a man is. But there were still missing components. And I said that to say this, that a good majority of males don't understand the role and the position of being a quote unquote mature man. You know what I mean? Like our pastor uses this particular scenario of a lion, and it looks like a lion, but it's not really a lion, i.e., let's say a cub then. So there is that gray area or a blur for a lot of men who don't understand that, okay, yeah, you might have the components, to be a man, the voice, the organs, if you will, the sexual organs, the masculinity, but there's still something else that makes you a full true man, which would be what is it, ladies? Provider, protector.
Four things. Priest, provider, prophet, protector.
See, just like Biz, I'm glad a guy said that.
That's what I was saying. I wanted the guys so it wouldn't be like, okay, this woman's trying to tell me how to be a man.
I don't mind. Hey, look, I'm like this. I've learned that in life, especially as a Christian man, I need a woman. So I don't mind being upgraded. Right now I'm HD. I don't mind to be 3D. So, but yeah, I believe that a lot of guys men don't understand the difference between the two. Some guys might feel like Leonard was saying, they sell drugs. He's like, look, I'm going to get this money by all means to provide for my family. But then it's like, are you really a man? Because you're in some ways taking off someone else's table to put on your kid's table. You know what I'm saying? That could be life and health and the money.
I was saying, and destroying another person's family at the same time.
Exactly.
And destroying your own, because if you're providing, you're thinking provision as far as just monetary now, because you've got this pimp position or this drug dealer job or whatever. You're providing monetarily, but then you're opening the door for your family. You're still not protecting them, because you've opened the door for all kinds of attacks, type of attacks that'll come in. So it's like, okay, yeah, you've got something that you can bring cold hard cash in, but you're not thinking, the full picture. Provision isn't just, monetary, protection. You do have to protect your family. And I'm not talking about, you're strapped so anybody comes through the door, you're blowing, you're shooting rounds off or whatever, but you're opening the door to other attacks on your family, and that's not what men do. Or should do.
You want the dude who blows holes through the door, though, right?
I do want. Yes,
Philly.
yes, I do. I will not deny that. Blow the hole through the door, yes, if need be, to protect the family. But
Don't bring it there anyway. It shouldn't even come there.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be because of you that you blow the hole through the door.
I think Curly wants to do the whole blowing through the door with her own gun. Yeah. No, but one of the things, though, just by listening so far, as a note, I think what makes a man is just the decision making. The decision making to do it God's way, the right way all the time. I mean, some guys might argue that, they are a man by whatever means they do to get the income, but at the end of the day, it's like that decision that you make, even with being with a woman, the decision you make to how you treat the woman.
It's a bigger issue.
At the end of the day, it's being a man is about making the right choices and the decisions. That's one component.
You know what? I mean, Jermaine, like what you just said, dude, that is that's a A+ super thumbs up. Yemen pasta. You know what I'm saying? Because
thank you, everybody. Scored 20 points for the men.
No, but in all seriousness, because when you say when you're doing it God's way, whenever Jesus' ways are taken into consideration, everything that was ever taught by him covered every single aspect of your entire life. So any part of you being a man could never be left out.
Yeah.
Every relationship, every part. I mean, you want to know how to do something right, he tells you how to do it right. And it also takes a man. It also very much takes a man to admit when he's wrong and admit that there's a better way than his own to doing it. Because there's not one man on the entire face of the earth who has an answer to every single problem. And I really want to start slapping people for this. I might start doing it in 2014. There is no such thing as a self-made man. Period. Anybody who ever said that, come on, we'll have a cup of tea and some crumpets and sit down and have a conversation about this. But look, I'm gonna tell you this right now. A self-made man, you wouldn't even be able to have the millions you had unless you had an album to sell to somebody. If there was nobody to buy your album, you wouldn't be a self-made millionaire. If there was nobody to watch your music video, you wouldn't have no kind of millions. If there was nobody to bring you up or to have a label to sign you to, you wouldn't be a self-made millionaire. Nobody does anything on this entire earth by themselves. Because first of all, you ain't even get here by yourself. Somebody else had to have you. You know what I'm saying? So, man, yeah, I'm going to leave that like that. Leonard, you can hit the next question, my dude.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to say, just going back to what Jermaine said.
Okay.
That was real deep.
It was.
And I forgot what I was going to say. But it's cool, because
So
y'all covered everything for the most part. I just throwing in some tidbits.
How are you going to sprinkle it?
Trying to show that I'm back. But it did roll right into what we had coming up next, which is what deficiencies are created and or nurtured by men who avoid working.
Ooh, snap, cool.
Wow.
Okay. I got an answer. Okay. What deficiencies? Number one. All right, so hold on. Say that one more time.
What deficiencies are created and or nurtured by men who avoid working?
Okay, so off jump, to avoid working, you already have to have a thought process in place. So the thought process in place could be dependent upon a woman. So if you now have dependent upon a woman as a thinking process, that now turns into habits that show up. Because if you're like, well, I can just depend on a woman for everything, now that can turn into laziness. Like I think Erica and Jermaine both said earlier, low or no ambition, even if the man had dreams on his heart to begin with. But the laziness isn't just with the job, it spills over into all kind of different areas. You know what I mean? And laziness also comes into irresponsibility. And the number one way that a man is just who he is, an adjective that sums up all of him, is responsible. So if you're leading into irresponsibility, then you're just now the total opposite of what a man is supposed to be. Those are, and I'd say the other deficiency that could really be caused of it is teaching others to do exactly the same thing, because they're all watching you, and no matter what it is, somebody's always watching. I know, like, we as Christians in leadership, we get that a lot because we know our lives are living epistles and we are examples. So it's like, yeah, even if you're having a bad day, it's like, hey man, but look, you gotta remember, you represent Christ at all times. You're not free to do whatever you want to. Your life is not your own. Your body's been bought with a price. You need to tighten up. Remember who you're living for. But even somebody who is not living for the Lord, there's somebody always watching you. So they may be one of these little young boys. You know, you going over to the gas station to go ahead and buy yourself a Black & Mild. There's a little boy in there just, buying a Kit Kat or something, but he see what you doing and he's like, wow, what is it about a Black & Mild that I see him every single day coming in here and getting the same thing? There must be something about it. If there was something else, but definitely a deficiency is having other people follow exactly what you're doing, especially when it's going to the wrong thing.
No,
One of the ladies? Go ahead.
No, I got it. Cause I got to go back because I remember now. and it's kind of tied together anyway. But it was before when you were saying for just men to think about what they're doing in terms of what their occupation, drug-wise, may be. And I was going to say, just kind of look at it in percentages. Like if I decide to take this course of action, how much risk is going to increase towards my family.
Right.
And at that point, you have to really make a conscious decision of if that risk is worth it, to however many more dollars you may make, or hundreds of thousands, whatever. Because personally for me, there is no dollar amount worth increasing the risk to my family. But I do understand that's just where I stand. Some people are willing to take more risks than I am. But that's just me. I think that's really something that people need to think about, or men need to think about in that particular field of providing drugs that aren't over the counter. But I think Curly was about to hit that one, so go ahead, girl.
Okay, I was thinking about think about an example Pastor gave us in church. You have a lion out in the wild. That lion's gonna hunt, go out and do what it's supposed to do for its family and everything like that. Then you get the same lion and it's put in a zoo. So now it's domesticated. Now, someone's feeding the lion, so the lion doesn't have to go out and purchase anything. I mean, not purchase.
Man, I saw a lion in public today, man.
That lion got EBT.
Lion skipped me in line, man. That wasn't right.
EBT. But the lion doesn't have to go out and hunt for his food and everything. It's given everything. So that creates, a lack of drive for that person. Everything is given to you, so there's nothing you have to do. You don't have to work. You don't have to hustle. You don't have to do anything, and it doesn't make you a man. I mean, back to the man thing. You're not out there doing what God did, put Adam on earth for, and that was to tend the garden. He was given a job first before Eve even stepped up on the scene.
True.
And, this is something men need to go out there and do. You need to provide it. It also says in the Bible, man doesn't work, he doesn't eat. So, therefore, you need to be working.
And were you going to say something, Erica?
I had a comment, I guess. Yeah.
Sure, ladies first.
You got a lot of them.
Thank you.
Go ahead, alley-oop.
I do have a comment. I think part of it, the deficiency or that comes about is a cyclical pattern.
Can you define that for those out there who may not know what that means?
Well, a cyclical pattern, what I mean is that, let's say, now I'm not going to use you guys as an example. I'm not going to speak that.
Wow.
But let's just say there's a guy out there who is not working and he is being that caged lion that Curly was talking about, now that there's a woman in his life, whoever she happens to be, that's feeding him. He doesn't have to go out and earn his. There's a woman out there who's tending to him, and there's nothing that he has to do on his own. So his drive is basically just diminished within him. Now he produces an offspring and has a son, and the son going to school and see dad is consistently there, not doing anything. I mean, like absolutely not doing anything, not out there, pounding the pavement, trying to, make it happen or whatever. He just knows that when he get up, dad's there. When he go home, dad's there. He'll never see dad doing nothing. He'll never see him going anywhere. And it's like, but dad, he's doing all right because, he eating, he got new kicks, he got new, he's got everything that he wants. He's buying the new video games. We got the new system, so I guess I really don't have to work. So now this young man is growing up with that same mentality, and that lack of drive is not, the males have the drive on the inside of them, but it has to be nurtured. It has to be fostered too. So he's not getting that nurturing. So now he's just a domesticated cat as well. He's not even a lion. He's just a tabby in the house, so every generation is getting worse and worse and worse. And then you're like, well, what happened? People are looking at like, well, what happened to society? Why can't the women find any good men? Why can't this happen? Why is all this crime going on? Why is all this going on? It comes back to the same issue. It's the same issue. So it's like a cyclical pattern that's going on. And that's a major problem with the men that don't work.
That was really good, Erica.
The girls are in here like,
I think I'm just gonna
Wade and LeBron.
I think I'm gonna piggyback on what the ladies are saying.
Don't do it.
No. I'm just,
You got no choice.
No, but a deficiency is just like what the ladies are saying. For a man, if he is not able to go and hunt, then he can't eat. You can't eat, you can't live, you can't survive. So if that drive in him is diminished or taken, then what do you have? And this is partially for the man who is gotten comfortable with the woman supporting everything, or the man who has, like Bizzle stated, that thought pattern and that mentality that, I should be given something. I'm expecting a handout. No, it's not like that. I mean, you need to go out and, first you start the pattern by learning how to help yourself. And how you go about helping yourself and how you do that continuously and consistently, then you can see if you're able to even take on a woman, you know what I mean? And then from a woman, then a family. One of the things our pastor shared with us with the men's group is that you should, help a man, show him how to fish. Don't fish for him. You know what I mean? And that's what tends to happen a lot, is that this particular society of, guys my age, younger, and even older, somewhere along the line by the pond down the stream, someone kept, they wanted to show them how to fish, but I don't know, maybe they got lost in translation and he just kept, fishing for him. And then he just got so used to that, okay, you're going to buy my rod, put the cord on, go in there and get the fish for me, and I don't really have to do anything. That kind of, doesn't help him become who he needs to be and mature into the person that God intends him to be, so he can then carry the baton for the next generation. So just overall on this topic, where the men are falling short is the influence, and then they've gotten comfortable, and then they've got all these excuses of why it's okay to have somebody fish for you. I mean, it's not really okay, you know what I mean? You still got to do your part. And something that kind of jumped in my mind as Erica was stating, I mean, I grew up in a home where my mother was working, dad was not working. But then at some point, he did things, and I guess in some way there was like a role reversal until he got a job. But he was, at least he was home. He was cooking the meals, cleaning the house, you know what I mean, while the wife went out. But that didn't stop him from desiring to want to work. You know what I mean? He kind of had a pow or a felony. But, so after a while, they don't really, but you keep persisting. Even if you've, left being incarcerated, you don't stop persisting. You know what I mean? So I believe just the influences, the things that this generation sees, them being comfortable, that's what's helping to continue to demasculate that hunter that's in every man, that drive. You know what I mean? Like when someone's passionate about something, some people are passionate about their music, they're passionate about sports, they're passionate about art. that's the same, all of that combined is within a man's hunting. You know what I mean? All of that should, be that Austin Powers, lack of a better term, mojo. You know what I mean?
Excellent.
So I believe it's just the things that, society is imposing. And even with the whole, the woman revolution thing, I mean, I like independent women. I like a strong woman, but also a woman that has the strength enough to put her sword down and say, okay, you're in charge here. You know what I mean? And you're going to take the lead. Now, I believe some women, because on one hand, they've had to kind of take up the torch, and on another hand is also the same thing with the influence from the music and television. It's like, girl, you got to do this. Don't wait for no man. Girl, you've accumulated all of this. But yeah, you've accumulated all of this, but the key thing is that you're not happy. You go through a lot of different relationships and you're still not happy, and you're like 40 plus something and you're not married. You're not happy. So it's like all of that was for nothing. You've driven so far now doing everything, and I'm not knocking your accomplishments. You've done awesome. Many of the independent, accomplished women, you've done great. You're just making yourselves ready for a man to come in. But, at some point, it's like, okay, are you really helping the big picture here? You know what I mean? Because I know at one point I used to think, when I speak to a woman who, to me, I looked at was accomplished, she had a good job, she was already driving, she had some things that drew me to her. I was always thinking, okay, how do I fit with this woman? What am I going to bring to the table that, she can't already say, well, I'm doing better than that in? You know what I mean? So that right there kind of made me draw back. Like, I couldn't get this type of girl. She's already doing X, Y, Z. How am I going to fit in there? Then if you really look at it, I was kind of being intimidated. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, I got to have something to show. But at the end of the day, she would have took me if, I was straight out of jail with a pack of boxes under my arm and some flip-flops. But I said that to say this, that, from the woman's perspective, kudos to all that you're doing. But even when you do get a guy, what are you looking for? Still at some aspect, you have to, point out to him that he should be the fisherman and not, I want to think of something cool to say. Yeah.
The guy with
Thank
the
you,
bucket.
Erica. Yeah, the bucket. Thank you. You should be pointing him to be the fisherman and not the bucket. That's, just for the woman assisting. Now, the man, because you have to take the lead and you're the one that's supposed to, you just got to do better, dog. You know what I'm saying? I understand times get tough. It gets rough, but, get around people going somewhere. You got to do better because it's just on our shoulder. Society's pointing at you. The guys that you look at that influence you, they men. They going to go do something. Can't do what they got to do. You got to do something. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z did something. Jesus Christ did something. You know what I'm saying? The Apostle Paul, they did something. You know what I'm saying? You got to do your part as a man. That's just no other way to put it. You have to come to a place where you're like, okay, I got to do my part. And I think I'm good.
All right. I definitely got one thing that needs to be clarified. And y'all gonna feel me on this. Boys have jobs, men have careers.
I like that.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Men have careers that they put their life into, and that is their life work. Boys have jobs that they go to collect a paycheck to do what they want to. Men understand that they are here for a purpose and they commit their life to that purpose. That is all.
Word.
Well, just to get back on
Another turning point for the men.
just to get back on what Jermaine was saying, a lot of times when I talk to different people who I would run into at work or whatever the case may be, and we strike up a conversation, and one thing I would always tell them is if I'm saying anything to you that makes sense to you or that's going to help you, pass that on. You don't have to say, oh, Leonard said this or this guy said this. I'm not looking for credit. I'm just looking for people to go further than they are at the moment. And so one thing I say is you can either feed someone, teach them how to feed themselves, or teach them how to feed others.
Right.
And that is so much more difficult than people realize. Because if all someone did was teach you how to feed yourself, that's all you know. It's going to be a difficult transition, and now teach this other person, okay, this is what you need to do. so you can feed other people. You're just gonna be able to teach them how to feed themselves unless you go through a lot of work, trial and error, and things of that nature. So I did want to say that back with you, but man, it goes back with the whole role thing. I spoke to Biz about this before, how you have a lot of men out there like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to lead this household and you just want to buck all the time. So since you gonna act up and you don't want to do what's right, why I gotta do what's right? And it's like at that point, you're no longer leading. You following now.
Yeah.
If you saying you ain't gonna do it because she's not doing it, then you just said, okay, you the leader. This your household. You wear the pants. I'm just gonna follow. So whenever you decide to act right, I'm gonna act right. And once you do that, you pretty much confusing women then. I mean, I'm not saying it's right that they don't do what's correct, but I've said this time and time again, doesn't matter what a woman does. It doesn't give us an excuse to not do what we're supposed to do.
Wow,
And
I like
we always need to step
right.
up and handle our business, take care of the things that we're supposed to be taking care of. Because anytime we step out of line with that, then we're failing at leading, and that's something that you just can't afford to do these days, because there's going to be some repercussions on your life, on your family, on your children's lives, your friends. It's just a domino effect, and everyone around you is affected by your lack of leadership. So what we need to do is, step up, be men with others. Grab someone by the hand or the throat if you got to, not in a non-aggressive way, of course.
Wow.
But you know how some men are just, pick them up by the top collar, close enough to the throat, just like, look, man, on the basketball court, don't act like y'all ain't never seen it before. Somebody just get out of line, he ain't guarding his man, y'all losing. It's about 10, 15 people waiting. If y'all lose, that's it for the night. Y'all can't play ball no more. So you yoke him up. Like, look, man, you better guard that man. Don't let him score again. It's the same thing. You the same way that we're on top of each other for minute things, we need to be on top of each other for the serious things. And that's where we're really losing the battle right there. That these deficiencies are growing there because we're putting so much emphasis and so much value on things that don't matter. And the things that do matter, we just shrug them off. And Curly said in the beginning, women allow it. So men, we tend to want to make you guys happy. I mean, I know everybody's heard this before. A happy wife equals a happy life.
True.
Like, that sounds so defeated to me. Like, dude, like, you will not hear me say that or apply that.
I've heard it's cheaper to keep it.
See, even that right there is saying, look, you know what I'm saying? You need to just act right so that, she's happy. So that she don't leave, because if you try to go back after, it's going to cost you. And if you ain't got no job, it's a lost cause. But, I want to go down the line starting with Jermaine right here. No, actually, I want to start with Erica.
Oh.
I want to start with Erica, and I want to go that way with it. So finish this sentence and with a paragraph, short paragraph, but a paragraph. When a man is really looking for a job,
When a man is really looking for a job.
Let me throw some context in there. I saw a movie once where this chef had a restaurant and his restaurant wound up getting destroyed. So he went to unemployment. And the first question unemployment asked him was, do you really want a job, or do you just want to do the minimum that you have to do to continue receiving this unemployment check? So my question is in regards to when a man really wants a job, what is he doing?
Okay. When a man really wants, I'm going to change it to career based on what, Biz just said already. Okay, so when a man really wants a career, he will find what his passion is in life and then pursue it. So it's like if you really want that career, you need to know what you're looking for. So in order to know what you're looking for, you need to consult the person that created you, because he knows what you were created to do. So that would be my first thing. If a guy is really looking for his career, he needs to consult the Almighty and find out what it is that God had put him on this earth to accomplish in the world, because every man has a vision implanted into him by God, and it is something for him to carry out in this earth. So that will help you along the way. Once you know what it is, then you just need to go on and figure out, and then you need to go on and consult with him and see how am I supposed to accomplish this? Okay, now you told me my job is to do XYZ. Then now that I know I need to do XYZ, I need to find out the course of action to accomplish XYZ. And that's how you go about it. Thank you.
Well, Eric, you kind of
Finally, 60 points for the women. Tie game, ladies and gentlemen, tie game.
I mean, what's to do after that one?
You got anything to say, girl?
I'm trying to think.
No, hey, you gotta ask it again, Leonard.
Actually, yeah, I would like to. May I answer the question, please?
Go ahead, Jermaine. Go ahead.
Ask me the question, please.
Do you need the question?
Yes.
Okay,
I want to make sure I get all the points.
To Jermaine, so he can make sure he words it the correct way, because he doesn't want to get talked back to.
Amen, Pastor.
So, Jermaine, tell
Yes, sir.
Curly to finish this sentence. When a man is really looking for a career, he ...
You heard him, right?
Okay, besides after, I guess, consulting God and getting your action plan, you need to be busy in it. I mean, he gave you the steps. Now get busy doing it. Whether it's going back to school, or if he tell you to go start your business, then I need to see you getting into your business plan, contacting Sunbiz, getting your fictitious name, registering your business. We need to see steps going in place, getting a license and everything. He told you to go to school. I need to see you start applying for school, starting your financial aid applications. I need to see you at work. If you're supposed to be looking for a job, I need you typed up your resume. I need to see you be submitting it, actively on Career Builder, Monster.com or something, actively doing it. So that's my thing.
Get busy.
Jermaine.
Hold on, man. I said I wasn't gonna do the controversy, man. But man, check this out though, man. Why? I mean, we the men, we the Boazes. You dig? Why does it have to be that a man finding a wife finding a good thing? I mean, we the ones doing something. Why? We gotta look for them. I mean, hello, we the one out there building these cities, you know what I'm saying? Opening these accounts, you know what I'm saying? It's a man's world.
It's hard work out there.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. But I don't mind. I'm just teasing.
It's not good for man to be alone. That's what
got some good. You know what? You got 20 points for that one. That's a good one.
That was still a block.
I was still a block.
Well, we sound like the Heat right now.
Whoa, okay.
Jermaine.
Go ahead. I'm going to take the question.
I want you to finish this sentence. This ain't no question. It's a sentence.
All right.
This is Mad Libs for you.
All right. Appreciate it.
When a man, a real man, not no quote-unquote man, a man, is really looking for a career, in the words of great B.I. Izzle,
Yes, sir.
he ...
When a man is really looking for a career, he is first consulting the man who made him, like Erica said, that you can't do nothing without no prayer. And then when a man is searching for a career, what it is that is in his heart should line up with what is in the word. And then after that, that's how he finds what it is that makes him who he is in doing what God asks him to do.
Man, you can't be stealing no answers from the woman you following right now.
Here's the thing. We're all in an agreement and we're flowing with the Holy Ghost. So, I mean, they just said it first, and my heart and my soul is in agreement with it. That's what it is. I mean, Erica said it, then she passed it to Curly, and now we gonna tie the game up. But at the free throw line, we gonna do our thing. You know what I'm saying? We gonna win it. But definitely, when a man is seeking his career, he has to consult God first, because he's no longer really living for himself per se. He's a new creature in Christ. So now the things that he's doing is, to please God and what God wants. And what he wants is going to line up with what God wants, because God is going to give you the desires of your heart. It says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and everything will be added after. So he wants the family. He wants the career. God is saying, okay, talk to me about it. Include me on it. And this is what I want you to do, which is going to bring you into what you want. So when a man is seeking his career, he first has to seek God about what God wants to do, and everything should line right up in there.
Okay.
So, I think we on top by 2 points.
All right, dude.
Know that. Know that.
Let's pull away.
Don't worry, I'm gonna play defense.
When a man is really looking for a career, he
Stop smoking weed.
yeah.
I'm sure, like,
Follow
man,
the
that
play.
has been on my heart since the very first thing. Like, look, man, like, all right, I don't care what nobody said. Look, I smoked for like almost 11 years, okay? I'm gonna tell you this right now. Even all the jobs that I had in the middle of it, that my heart was more into weed than it was the job.
I want to point out that he said all the jobs he had at that time.
Yeah,
That's
like
something.
I've worked I've been everything in a restaurant, from busser, bartender, server, host, in the back, on the grill, on fry, like everything, you know what I'm saying? So what I really want to say is just, aside from just smoking weed, I mean, it's the crowd that comes with it, because the 5 closest people to you are going to influence a lot of how the rest of your life goes. So not only are you going to seek God first, and you're going to go after him, and you're going to really ask him, what am I supposed to be doing? But you're also going to surround yourself with like-minded people, because they're going to push you to that same place. It doesn't make any sense for you to be around the same crowd continuously over and over again and expect to move forward. It's just not going to happen. You're either going to have, I mean, if you all are walking in 2 different directions, you're not going to stay together the whole time. That's just the way it is. But when you have people who are walking in the same direction and have the same goals, like we were talking about accountability on the last show, y'all need to run back and get the CD. Anyway, but yeah, for real, that's really where it is. Seek God, and then have other people around who are seeking God in the same manner to do what they're called to do on this earth. That way they can exhort you to do exactly what you're called to do here on this earth. That's it.
All right.
Yes, sir, little baby.
Yo, when a man is looking for a career, he goes to the store and buys a suit, a shirt and a tie, something to wear, so he looks presentable in the interview. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, or a lot of guys just don't know, like, your appearance really matters in the interview. You can't go to an interview in a white beater and something short. You know, and like, yo, I'm applying to be a surgeon. You know, they not trying to, they trying to admit you. They ain't trying to hear what you look at your resume now. They trying to pull up your dental records.
That's true.
You know, but